Welcome to the Strategies for Success Online Summit 2015. I am so excited. Let me introduce myself. I am your host, Gina Battye. To celebrate the launch of my new course, which is called Discover Your Direction, I decided to reach out to 7 experts from around the world to have conversations about the things that keep you up at night. So listen, I'm not here to live by half measures, and I know that you don't want to either. For all you persistent, determined, strong, and confident women out there, I know you will resonate with this, and this summit is for you. Let's get straight to it. If you're unsure where you're heading and you're looking for guidance on how to figure that out, and if you want to figure out why you're here and your purpose in life, and you want to know how to wrap the things that you're passionate about around your vision and your purpose, and you want to get your hands on strategies to keep you focused and to feel fulfilled, this is where you need to be. Look at me. I used to be a UK size 16, which is a US size 12. I turned my life around by focusing on 3 areas. The first was mastering my body. The second was mastering my self-belief and my mindset. And the third was mastering my mission and purpose in life. As you can see, I've gone through quite a transformation, not only physically, but also mentally, emotionally, and spiritually too. My work focuses around personal mastery, specifically focusing on those 3 areas: body mastery, self-belief mastery, and mission and purpose in life. I work with strong and confident women, where I'm a high-performance personal mastery coach, best-selling author, and one of the UK's leading public speakers. So what is personal mastery? Personal mastery is about being persistent in effort and stubbornly tenacious in attitude. It's not about being perfect every day. As I said, it's about being persistent and stubbornly tenacious. It's about being focused and determined and believing in yourself and believing that anything that you dream about, you can make happen. I am so excited to bring you 8 mastery experts from around the world, and they will all be under your roof. I'm bringing to you strong and confident people who work every day to master themselves and their craft. They know to their very core that personal mastery isn't a one-time investment, a quick fix, or a short-term goal. They know it is a lifelong investment. If you're truly working on personal mastery, is there ever a finishing line to that? My answer would be no, there's never a finishing line to it. There may be pauses where things are going great and you demonstrate that you're skillful at mastering situations and events in your life. If you go back and reflect on your life, even the most strong and confident people feel like they're getting kicked in the gut and are challenged to get back up at certain points in time. And at those points, it requires new skills to master that moment, that new kind of moment that you're experiencing. In my experience, it takes a minimum of 3 months for you to be able to take something new, be it a new skill, a new technique, or a new strategy, and to put it into place and start to see some changes. These new skills, techniques, and strategies are exactly what we're going to tackle in my new course, Discover Your Direction. More about that later on. The aim of the summit is to pull back the curtains on personal mastery and explore life-changing teachings that will set you up for success. So who will you hear from? I am talking to Michelle Cameron Coulter, Olympic gold medalist, about discovering your passion. I'm talking to Glenn Morshower, one of the busiest character actors in Hollywood. We're talking about alignment and intuition. I'm talking to Sharon Lecter, the genius behind the Rich Dad brand and currently partnered with the Napoleon Hill Foundation. We're talking about vision and living a life of significance and success. I'm talking to Dr. Bill Dorfman, celebrity dentist and New York Times best-selling author. We're talking about goal setting, masterminding, and leadership. I'm talking to Roz Savage, MBE, who holds 4 world records for ocean rowing and is the first woman to row solo across 3 oceans. We're talking about courage and collective consciousness. I'm talking to Erik Swanson, award-winning speaker and success coach, about productivity and habits for success. And last, but certainly not least, I am talking to Dr. Gina Battye, best-selling author of numerous books, law of attraction expert, and featured in the movie The Secret. We're talking about overcoming procrastination. There's a special bonus for you too. To celebrate the launch of my new course, Discover Your Direction, I'll be hosting a live webinar. We'll be talking about discovering your direction and explore the key learnings from the summit. Be sure to check in with all the conversations. You will learn something from every single one, I promise you. It is my mission to invite people around the world to step into their power. I offer you that invitation now to step up and realise your full potential. I invite you into our world, into our lives, where you'll hear from 8 mastery experts. What we have to share with you will start you on your journey to realising your full potential. Ask yourself, here and now, are you all in? If you are, let's go. Let's do this. So listen, guys, in the journey of success, sometimes you get a chance to come across someone who has really walked the walk and delivers straight from the heart. Erik Swanson has done just that. Now, he has spent the last 18 years working with and sharing stages with top experts such as Brian Tracy. We've all heard of Brian Tracy, right? Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor, and many others from the best-selling book The Secret, as well as the Think and Grow Rich and the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So Erik, your main mentor, Brian Tracy, he taught you the value of surrounding yourself with thinkers, educators, and motivators of the day, which has skyrocketed Erik's success in teaching others how to think, act, and grow. Erik, it is such a real pleasure to have you here with us for the summit. Step on in. Let's have a look at you.
Hey, guys. Hi, Gina. I'm so excited.
Fabulous.
Thank you. I'm excited to be. I'm in the UK, guys. Here I am. Woo-hoo!
Here you are. And it's such a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for including me. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. So we're going to talk about productivity, but before we do, I'd love to hear a little bit about your backstory. Tell us about you, Erik.
Sure. Let's see. Well, you've got a lot of it already in there. I basically I grew up working with Brian Tracy, and it changed my whole life, really. You know, working with him, and it expanded my vision as to what was going on in my life and what I needed to change, some habits I needed to work on. And then I became a senior trainer of Brian's. And one of the cool things that he had, it was really cool. And everyone knows Brian Tracy. He's
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So he's got like 40 books on the market out there. It's awesome. But what was cool was one of the things he told us to do was to diversify ourselves and to not just love or learn 100% of his information, but use just like what I do with my coaching clients. Use anything you can with any of my habits or my traits or my things I can teach you. But if it doesn't resonate with you, don't use it, and learn from other people. So I started doing that, and Gina, was amazing because I started diversifying myself, and now I share stages with so many people that I had no idea that I was going to share stages with, or I had no idea I was going to allow them to share stages with.
Good thinking.
That's right.
Absolutely. So what's been your highlight of all those people that you shared stages with and you've worked with? What's been your highlight?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, Brian Tracy, working with him, it's got to be one of the highlights. And what was interesting is how do I say this in the polite way? I didn't know that it was one of my highlights until now I see that it was one of my highlights. You know what I mean? It's like when you are in the presence of these amazing thinkers and leaders, and yet you're one-on-one with them, maybe you don't really appreciate it as much. So I actually appreciate it even more now that I saw where I was and working with such a fantastic individual. And in fact, not many people know this, but a good friend of mine, actually talked me into working with Brian because I had no idea who he was.
Really?
I was a waiter I was a server in a restaurant. Can you see me serving in a restaurant? I'm like, no. I'm very shy and not very cool. Right, exactly. So I was a waiter at the time, and I had no idea about all this business and success, and I had no idea who he was. And I remember asking a person who I used to wait tables on. This gentleman was very highly respected in the industry in real estate in Austin, Texas. His name is Buddy Schilling, great gentleman. And he said, "Hey, look, if you have a chance to work with Brian Tracy, do it. He's one of the best." So I Okay, back then it was Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, and Tom Hopkins in real estate. So I forgot what your question was, but yeah. Oh, that was one of my highlights. My highlights. There are two highlights in my whole life right now, Gina. It's working with Brian Tracy, yeah, yep. and being on your show.
Oh, bless you very much. I tell you what, it might be one of those where you look back at it though and go, do you know what? That really was a highlight for me.
That's right. It's like, it's Battye that I thought that. Exactly.
Erik's just learned how to say my surname and he loves it.
I love it. It's Battye. I love it.
Tell us how you got into working with Brian Tracy. How did that manifest and what kind of led you into it?
Yeah, sure. Well, I was waiting tables, and one of Brian's, I guess, managers or recruiting managers, he met me and said, he started. And now that I look back at it, it was kind of interesting because he's like, hey, do you know anyone who likes to travel? I was like, probably. He goes, do you know anyone who likes to make a lot of money? I'm like, maybe. No. He goes, do you know anyone who, he kept on asking me a bunch of questions and let me think about it for like a weekend. And then finally I called him back. I go, what about me? He goes, oh, I didn't think about you. That's how I got involved in it. And he ended up introducing me to Brian. And my first day was, oh goodness, January 5th, I'll just leave it at 1900 something. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. It was 18 years ago. 18 years ago, yeah, when I first started with him. And I saw Brian for the first time in Denver, Colorado, and it was awesome. Yeah.
I can imagine. I can totally imagine. So how did you go from working with Brian Tracy into stepping into what you're doing currently?
Okay, so one of Brian's techniques or suggestions was to diversify myself, to learn from other people. So I started doing that. And because of his direction, he told me, pick up this book, use this, use that. I actually call it Stepping on Millionaires, because Stepping on Millionaires, actually I'm writing that one down.
Write that down.
That's a good book title right there, Stepping on Millionaires. All right. So the deal is I had a little BMW, little M3 or whatever it was, like back in the day. And this was my first year working with, oh, by the way, I went from a three-legged Honda CRX, and I say three-legged because it had three tires, okay, and then one donut, because I couldn't afford to even pay for the other tire to be fixed. And then I went from that. Yeah, it's a true story. I can't believe I'm telling you guys this. I went from that. My muffler actually fell off the CRX, the little car, and I had to pick up my friend. I'm like, you've got to straddle my muffler. I'm sorry. But seriously, there was a muffler in the front seat. So I went from this to my first year working with Brian Tracy, and I mean, not that it's all about money, but let me just tell you, I made like $75,000 my first like 6 months or 7 months working with this guy. That's American, U.S. currency, and coming from a waiter background to working with this gentleman, and I was like, done. I found my calling. So I forgot what the point was. Oh, the point was that I was stepping on millionaires. So I had this BMW. It was really cool. I wish I still had it. It was a white little M3 that I bought. It was my very first car that I actually bought, for myself, instead of like my mom giving me the car, So I bought this car, and back then, I mean, I know you're like 20 years old, but back then we had these. They're called cassette tapes. Do you know what they are?
Yeah. I was around when cassettes were out.
No, come on. So they look like this, right? They got a wheel here and wheel here, and it's a long story short. But then you went to CDs, and now nobody even knows what a CD is. But the point is, though, I had these cassette tapes, and they looked kind of like, I'm trying to see what they'll look like, sort of like a package like this, like sort of a book, but maybe a little smaller. There was one cassette. So there were two cassettes. And it was like Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn, Jack Canfield, Zig Ziglar, Richard Marchenko, Mark McCormick, all these guys. You probably don't even know who Mark McCormick is. This guy, Mark McCormick, is the brainstorm of advertising and marketing, and he's the one. And this is true, awesome story. He's the one who put advertising on sports athletes. Okay, so like the advertising on their hats, on Tiger Woods' hat, or all these different sports. Back then it wasn't Tiger Woods yet, but all these different sports athletes, and he got sponsorships to pay for all these advertising. That was Mark McCormick. Yeah, really
cool.
So I was stepping on millionaires, meaning I had all these. It was a two-door car, and in my back seat, nobody could sit back there. It was too small. So what I did was I would put all these cassette tapes right there, lined up on the back seat and on the floor. Right.
I can so imagine that.
Yeah. So I would reach back and I'd grab it and I'd listen to that person and I'd throw it on the passenger seat on the floor there. So basically, I was stepping on millionaires because these are millionaires that I'm learning from, and it's a cool concept. So
I love
can't
that
remember
concept.
What the question
that
was.
Is so cool.
Here you go.
It was around stepping into what you're doing now. So you were learning from all these masters. You were developing yourself. You were diversifying yourself.
Correct.
Fabulous. So let's talk about what you're doing now. Talk to us about what you do, how you work with people.
Sure. So I own 4 companies now, and one of them is Universal Seminars, where we have events throughout the nation and Canada as well as UK and in Australia, and then UK in the house. Woo! And then I had a joke in there, it didn't work. So Universal Seminars. We also I also have Create a Book program, which I author. I share techniques, and I actually assign a creative writer to individuals who want to become an author. And I write these smaller books, like 70-page books like that. So it's pretty quick. And you have one of my books, right? You have the...
I was saving it. Do you want me to show it right now?
Okay, we'll save it.
Right,
so
we're going to do it together in a minute.
Okay, sounds good. So the point is, though, I've got a Create a Book program, which is really cool, and I saw a need for people to become authors. And once I became an author, it opened up so many doors for me. So that's really cool. And then we have what else are my other companies? Habitude Warrior is my main focus for the last 5 years or so. And it's all about becoming a habitude warrior in charge of your habits and your attitude. And that's the main thing that I'm working on right now. Yeah. So it's really fun, and we help people get in charge of their habits and their attitude.
Fabulous, and that's what we're going to step into and talk about in a little bit more detail right now. Woohoo!
Let's do it.
So let's talk about productivity. I've got a lot of clients, a lot of people who I talk to and work with that really struggle with keeping their productivity high and achieving their vision. So when I thought about putting together a summit on how to get more productive, how to step into yourself, how to realize your full potential, you immediately came to mind with your habitudes and exploring the different habits and attitudes for success. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. So sure. When you think about productivity,
I like your headset, by the way. I wish I had one.
I'm doing it so people can hear me, just to be sure.
I love it.
I might start singing in a minute.
Excellent.
I'll try not to.
You're Gina Battye.
Indeed. So when you think about productivity, Erik, what comes to mind? What are your initial thoughts?
Well, my initial thoughts are this. A lot of people waste time. Mm-hmm. And they waste time. And it's interesting, you like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Like, some people look at this. Right now, we've spent about 12 minutes so far and on this call. And we've had a lot of fun already in 12 minutes. And you have to have a lot of fun. But the thing is, I'm laser focused about what I'm going to be doing and what we are doing as well. So you can intertwine your having fun at the same time as being productive. So I think a lot of people waste time out there. They get in their own way. They take on too much. Like my friend, my friend Les Brown. You know Les Brown, right?
Absolutely.
Les Brown, amazing motivational speaker. I share some stages with this gentleman. And he's really cool that one of his lines is this: it's not, and I hope I don't butcher this line, I hope it's right. It's not that people set their goals too high and miss it. It's that they set their goals too low and they hit it.
Absolutely.
Which I thought was so interesting. So if you take
that, powerful as well, isn't it?
Isn't that powerful? Yeah, it's so powerful. Another thing that he talks about that I love is the fact that, how if you have a glass, or like my little tiny baby coffee, see, a little coffee. If you have a little glass or a cup, and if you say, well, the glass is half empty or half what? Full, right? That saying? You guys have that saying.
Yeah, we have it. Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Yeah. or would it be the leader? Is the leader half full or half empty? Anyway, the point is, though, Les Brown says this, it's not about the glass being half empty or half full. It has to be completely full in your life. The main point is the productivity. I think a lot of people get in their own way, and they try to bite off a lot of things that they can't handle, and only to realize that maybe if you bite off certain things, like my other friend, Sharon Lecter, be the big success. So it's just doing things little by little by little, and you'll get there. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Now, it's interesting, doing little things, little steps. It really does add up and make a huge difference. I know it has done in my life, and it has done with pretty much everybody that I've ever worked with. And it's quite fascinating when you look at, how productive you can be when you just take those little steps. Now, I'm going to introduce your book. Should we do this together? Are you there? I think I might have lost you.
For a sponsor break, maybe? Let's pause for a sponsor break. Here we go.
I'm going to scroll it across at the same time. Interesting how we've got a different colour there. Switch it. You ready?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I wrote this. Can I tell you about my book real quick?
Please. Yes. Introduce us to your book, Erik.
Okay, so here's the quick version of the introduction. Basically, it's about, 30 different chapters in here on time habitudes, so time management. Can you guys see that? There you go. So it's basically your habits and your attitude, but managing your time throughout the day, and to make all these little wins turn out to be big wins. And what I did was this. I realized that it's not enough doing to-do lists or things to do. Maybe you need to have a not to-do list, like things to get rid of out of your daily activity. And if you got rid of them, maybe you'd be more successful. So I actually wrote the book as a flip book. So it reads half the chapters read this way, and then you flip it over, and the other half of the chapters read this way. So it's a not to-do list.
Ingenious. I love it.
Thank you. Woo!
So at any point, I'm looking at the book, and then all of a sudden I go like that.
Yeah, you have to flip it over. You see people try to read the ebook because they have to flip their whole computer over. It's fantastic.
Oh, good thing. I love it. that could throw a lot of people, I'm sure. So let's talk about a few, not just time habits, but let's focus on here are Erik's other books. There we go. Let's focus on productivity. So out of everything that you've ever talked about and that you put together, what would you say are maybe the top 3 things that you would want people to know about today?
Top 3 things? Wait, that's a loaded question. So what am I doing? So top 3 things about being productive?
Sure. Yes. Strategies, techniques. Which ones?
Well, one of them is my idea of being an opportunist. Excuse me. So look for opportunities everywhere, and there's opportunities every single place you go. The thing is, a lot of people we allow other people to decide what's going on in our minds, and allow them to rent space in our minds. So we get discouraged. Like Deepak Chopra says, how many people are you allowing to rent space in your mind, and you're not even charging them rent for it? You know what I mean? So I look for opportunities everywhere. Everywhere, there's so many opportunities, and the thing is, people are just passing them by because they have blinders on. So I train myself to have open eyes, to realize that even in adversity, you can change that into a positive, into a win-win. That's one of the main things that I do.
So let me ask you a question about that. I know when we last saw each other in the US, you mentioned about carrying 12 business cards with you and meeting somebody over a petrol pump.
Sure.
Talk to us about the opportunity that you got from that. I thought that was fascinating.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so I always have a stack of business cards with me at all times. So here's my 12 right here, and that's interesting. I've got it right here on the desk. So I usually always carry 12 business cards in my wallet every single morning when I walk out of the house. And I always ask my clients in my seminars, if I leave with 12 business cards in my wallet every single day, how many do you think I have when I get back to the house? And the answer usually they come up with is 0. which is incorrect. I leave my house with 12 business cards and I come back with 12 business cards because I'm meeting individuals and I'm creating that opportunity. So I leave my card. Oh, by the way, there's my card. Boom, there. So I leave.
Love it.
I like to have fun. Can you tell that I like to have fun? So the story at the Petro, as you guys call it, Petro, we call it gasoline. But
sorry, gasoline.
Gas station. Yeah. So what happened was I was in a gas station one time, and I had all my business cards on me, of course, at all times, and I struck up this conversation with an individual in front of me, and he had this has happened many times actually. There's 2 or 3 stories that come to my mind right now, but one of them is this guy had a huge truck. This is in Austin, Texas area. He had a big truck, like huge. It was like it took up like all the 2, 3 gas station, pumps. And I just looked over, I was like, wow, nice staff there, kind of sharing as to what we do and broke the ice and so forth. And turned out to be a pretty big client of mine now because all I did was I created that opportunity. And so we traded business cards. There's opportunities everywhere you go. Like if you
so open your eyes.
Yeah, open your eyes, exactly.
Yeah.
And what I do, here's what I do. I search for things to genuinely compliment people. I want to be very clear about the fact that I'm saying genuinely, okay? So you don't lie to somebody, say those are great glasses when they're really clearly not. Your glasses are awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
I love them. They're awesome. Battye. But the point is though, find something that's cool. Like you have a beautiful smile, okay? So what I would do is I would come up and be like, hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to say you have a great smile. Really great smile. And you can be like, oh, thanks so much, and it just breaks the ice. So find something that you can genuinely compliment people on, whether it's their suit, their tie, their shoes, their car, anything, great dog, even though the dog's about to bite you, do something, that
friendly
great
dog.
I'm like, I really like that leash on that dog. Yeah, keep it away. Right. So do something that will spark that creativity of a conversation.
Because you never know where any conversation is going to go, right?
Just like this one.
Absolutely. I'm a little scared of where it might go actually at times, but I'm trusting the universe right now.
That's right. The universe rocks.
Absolutely. So be an opportunist. That's your first tip or first strategy on productivity, how to get the best from yourself.
Absolutely.
Second.
Okay, another one. Let me give you a second one that I use. Be prepared. Be prepared means, here's the scoop. You're going to see opportunities out there, but a lot of people fail because they're not prepared in advance. So such as my business cards, always have them on you. I can't tell you how many times I run into people that they simply don't even have business cards or what we call now gift cards.
Ooh, I like that.
But these are not business cards, they're gift cards because if you turn it around, so it's a gift card instead of a business card nowadays.
That is so
but
cool.
Also, yeah, isn't that cool? So being prepared is critical because a lot of people are not, and if you're prepared to be able to accept that opportunity, then you're more likely to achieve success in that area. I actually, a friend of mine named Della Toro wrote something called PME, which is positive mental environment, which is really just making a positive mental environment at all times during your day, throughout the next week, throughout the month. So what that means is being prepared in advance, instead of, obviously that's a double entendre right there, being prepared in advance. Of course you can do it in advance, but many people don't do that. So it's really important. Like I'll give you an example. I lost weight. I lost about 24 pounds in the course of a 3-month period. And the direct result was because I was prepared. And I did this with bottles of water. What I did was I actually, I have, in one of my homes, I have a stairway that goes obviously to my upstairs to the bedroom. And what I would do is I would take 2 bottles of water and I would place it right there at the bottom of my stairway. So when I come down the next morning, I have to drink the bottles of water before I go get coffee or soda or anything else. So it's just a way to prepare your day and get the right result that you're looking for.
Absolutely. And do you know, be prepared, I think, has got so many different elements to it. So a couple of things that I do is every Sunday evening I sit down, I journal on a Sunday, and I always sit down and think before I finish journaling, what are the key things that I want to accomplish this week? And I make a note of those, maybe top 5 things that I want to focus on that week. And then at the end of every work day, I sit down and I think, okay, so what is it that I'm going to focus on as a matter of urgency tomorrow? And I plan it all out. I prioritize, I put numbers next to it, and I make sure that I'm doing that regularly to be sure that I am focused on my vision and really stepping forward in every aspect of my life. So being prepared has got so many different elements to it. It could be, the food that you're going to eat the next day.
Right.
It could
how about the people that you're going to speak to on a daily basis?
Exactly. Yeah. So planning out who you're going to speak to, what times, literally every single part of your life would benefit from having planning in some aspects. Totally agree.
Right.
Fantastic one.
I agree. And I'll take it one step further if I could, Gina. What I've noticed is I will pick out. Okay, cool. I will pick out certain people that I want to meet that year, or at least surround myself a little bit more that year. So it's really a cool idea. So if you like you met Laura Langemeyer, our friend Laurel. That's where I met you, I believe, in Lake Tahoe, I think it was, at the Millionaire Conference. And now if you know Sharon Lecter, of course, or if you know all these different really cool speakers and authors and trainers that will help you move to the next level. Like I wanted to meet Daniel Amen. He's a New York Times bestseller, amazing gentleman that change your brain, change your life. And he's been on so many TV shows. I want to meet him and his wife. So now I have Habitudes conference this month coming up in November in San Diego. So it's just reaching out to these people and saying, hey, you seem like a person I want to connect with and resonate with, and let's see if there's a great resonation there, and let me invite you to be on one of my stages, and they invite me to be on theirs. So it's a really cool concept. Now, but here's the problem, though. I want to just kind of continue with this thought pattern. I see people who prepare for their next 6 months or a year, but they don't open up their eyes for more opportunity. What this means is, so what it means is they, and it comes, I'm being completely straightforward with you, your audience today, is the fact that it comes down to sometimes money, financial, where they say, well, I can only go to 2 programs this year, or 3 or 5, whatever. And then when another opportunity comes up, they're like, oh no, I've already scheduled.
I've done it. I can't go to another.
my year. Really? Yeah. And what happens is I used to be that person. Okay. I used to be that person where I would not commit myself to going and doing another program or whatever it was. Now I've taken over the last 5, no matter what, if somebody asks me, I'm going to be that yes man. That silly movie with Jim Carrey, the yes man. Everything that you say has to be yes. Great. If someone asks me a question, I'm doing it. Okay, let's do it.
I'm in.
It's like, just say yes and try to figure out how to do it. Yeah, I'm in. So I started doing that, and it's amazing when you say, okay, come on. Are you coming to our event? We've got a November 5, 6, 7 in the United States in San Diego, and it's going to be awesome. We got 30 speakers in 3 days.
That sounds pretty incredible.
I'm in, right?
That sounds pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So let's talk number 3, third productivity.
Okay. What you want? I got many.
Let's see. How about... Ooh, one of my favorites that you talk about. Touch it once.
Oh, this is cool. Yeah, touch it once. So I love, touch it once sounds really cool and it's funny and so forth, but it's true. A lot of people do not prioritize their day and they touch things multiple times and too much. If it comes on your desk, if it comes on your plate, touch it once, go ahead and take care of it. This should either, whether it's a physical thing like this, or whether it's an email or a phone call, well, take care of it right away, whether it gets taken care of immediately by you, so you are answering that email, or whether you delegate it to another individual, or whether you actually just delete it. You know, the delete file is pretty impressive and great. Once you start things, it's awesome, and it saves so much of your time and filters your time. So touch it once is amazing. What I do is this. I actually hire assistants. I've got 12 major assistants that work for me right now, specifically for me, so that they filter my time, so that I can be here with you. So are you filtering your time and having them figure it out, them touch it, you know, instead of you doing everything? Because a lot of people they want to take care of their own baby, yet they can't grow that way in a business.
So you're focusing on what you're good at, basically.
Yeah.
And you're handing out everything else to the others. Correct.
Or deleting it and not handing it out to them. Yeah, because I don't want to hand something to them where they waste time.
Absolutely. And it's from dealing with all of your staff so far up to this point, it's been incredible. You know, they've dealt with everything efficiently. It's been such a pleasure to work with them all. So you've obviously trained them well. They know what they're doing. And, you know, we've got together very quickly to have this conversation as a result.
Sure.
So let me fire away a few questions to you. How do you stay focused on your vision?
I remind myself every day, every night and every day. I wake up, every morning I wake up now and I say, good morning, God, instead of good God, it's morning.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Say that again. We like that.
Okay, so good morning, God, not good God, it's morning, right? And you get excited about the day, and you just remind yourself about what your focus is that month, that year, and stay to it. It's actually called single handling, and this is an old Brian Tracy technique a long time ago. That what you do is you single handle something. Where here's the problem: is it takes more effort to take a look at something like, here it is, this is what I have to focus in on, and then I'm going to look at this for like 20, 30 minutes or half an hour, and then I'm going to put it down. And then what happens is you go take care of something else. Then you come back and you're like, oh, I need to remember what I did earlier. And that loses productivity. So if you touch it once, like we were talking about before, but then single handling, meaning here's the golden rule is this: 80% of your wealth or of your income or all the success is going to be derived by 20% of the things that you do. And 20% of your income is derived by 80% of what you do. So what are you focusing in on? You know, start focusing on the things that are really going to get to where you're get more publicity or exposure or something. You know, I decided a couple years ago that, okay, it's time for everyone to know who Erik Swanson and Habitude Warrior, you know, and habitudewarrior.com. Anyway, it's time for
I'm doing that. I'm doing that in a minute. Hold that thought.
Oh, good. So I decided it was time to go ahead and really just get that exposure and get out there and really start doing that. So I started to align. Here's the thing. I could go on for hours, by the way.
That's cool.
Here's the thing.
So
you want to get your, okay, good. Yay! Part 9. All right, wait, 9. Okay, so what happens is you got to get your congruency of your brain, your subconscious mind and your conscious mind in congruency. And if once you have that in alignment, then you have all of your habits and your different things you're doing during the day aligned towards your focus, towards your goal.
That's pretty magical. I like that.
Thank you. Yay! My job is done here.
Not quite. Come back. A few more questions. Okay, I'm gonna do quick fire round questions if we can. Let's see how we go. Okay.
I like ice cream.
What's your favorite color?
Size 10.5. There you go. What's my favorite color? Really? Black. Sometimes I like to wear black.
Yeah, I can tell.
All right.
Right, tell me a couple of habits that keep you on track every day with your goals.
Okay, with my goals?
Yeah.
Yeah, my goals. Okay, so I take 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening, and I review my goals. And then the second habit that I have, that's important, yeah. The second habit I have is I review the reasons why I'm doing those goals. So what is the reason why you want to achieve that goal?
That's brilliant. I like that. I'm guessing that keeps you really focused on it as well, does it?
Yep, it does. And then I actually have something called the passion, sort of like the passion test. And what that is send out an email to 30 of your friends and find out what are the top 3 things that they love about you, or the industry or the genre you're looking for. So what I mean by that is I literally have 30 people answering me of why they think that I bring brilliance of whatever to the table, to the audience, to the party, or whatever it is, right? It's almost like Think and Grow Rich. Great book, by the way, right back here. So Think and Grow Rich, those 13 major commonalities, except else.
How do you keep a positive mind throughout the day? What are your techniques?
Okay, it's a great question. So what I do is I keep a positive mindset throughout the day by reminding myself to keep a positive mindset throughout the day. That's the biggest secret that I can give everyone is people start complaining. They're like, woe is me, and so forth. And they keep on complaining about things that are happening to other people as well. And they keep on saying, well, why is it happening to me? Guess what? It's happening to everyone. It's just the way you react to it or handle it. So I constantly remind myself that I'm ahead of the game, that things can be much worse. Even if things are worse, there's lessons to be learned within those items as well.
And I guess that comes back to something else that you talk about, top of mind awareness.
My mallet, yeah. Everyone needs a superhero mallet like this.
I so want that. Can you show it to me?
You know how heavy this thing is? It's huge. It's heavy. All right, so the top of mind awareness. Yes, it's awesome.
So it's about keeping it kind of fresh in your head, constantly reminding yourself. Got you.
Exactly. Yeah. TOMA, T-O-M-A, top of mind awareness.
I love that. I love that concept. Talk to us about how you look after your body and your mind.
Well, my body's awesome, so everyone's looking at my body. But my mind, so I have to constantly train my mind to be really, really. What are you laughing at? My body.
You just keep it. I don't know. Carry on.
The scoop is, look, your body and your mind are your temples, so keep them clear, keep them going in the positive direction. If the worst thing that you can do is you say, well, I'm going to be successful, and then what happens is you let everything else go, right? Well, why would you do that? It's such an interesting case of interesting paradigm where you're saying, well, guys, and I see people doing this. They're trying to teach success, and yet you look at them and go, well, why aren't you, keeping your, all of your attributes in order? I guess there's achievement, certain levels of achievement, and I call them 5 cycles of achievement, which is it's your, you've got your income, you've got your financial, you've got your career goals, could be a little different than your income goals. You've got your family relationship goals. You've got your health and fitness goals, and then you have your spiritual goals. Well, if you're, have you ever noticed that when you start working on 1 or 2 of them, then the other ones kind of dwindle down? So you have to keep that balance. Yeah, just keep that balance.
And I think balance is fundamental, really, when it comes to looking after yourself. It's about recognizing what's working for you, what isn't, and making tweaks as you go along, experimenting, trying different things out.
Correct.
And I know you're the master of that, so that's cool. Talk to us about how you keep your vibration high throughout the day, even when you get knocked off.
Well, everyone's going to get knocked down. That's why you have a big mallet to hit yourself with, or pretend you're Thor. This is great when you're walking down the street. People are like, well, that guy's in charge, apparently. So how do I keep myself? So I'll bring this up as an example, actually. I have little triggers that keep me focused, and keep my vibration and my energy and my awesomeness up. And this is one of them. I mean, why not have something like this? Was ridiculous. I had this made, and look at, it's all leather and it's crazy, right? It's huge. But I had this made specifically to sit right up here on one of my office, my library, so that it reminds me to be in charge of my life. I also have, let me see if I can hear it. Don't move. I'll be right back.
Not moving anywhere.
Play some music. Yeah. So
You can sing to us. We can still hear you.
I'm a good whistler. So I have this this thing. Oh man, look at my arms. I am in shape. Okay, so I have this this thing that's it's a little, you know what this is, right? Like a little
Yeah.
what do you I always forget what I call this. Not a billboard. What's this thing called? Like a easel.
Easel.
It's called an easel. Yeah. Thanks. Well, you got it right. After I told you what it was, then you go, easel.
We've got time,
no kidding. I just said it was an easel. So here's the easel. But the thing is, it's small. So look, it's a little tiny easel. So I got this at a little art store, so I could put it somewhere, like on my dresser over here, or anywhere. When you're brushing your teeth, you put it in your bathroom right there. And what I did was I put a little sign on my easel. So here's my sign, and it says, "Oh, I just dropped it." and it says,
"Uh-oh."
It says,
"You are awesome."
You are awesome. So I see that. Here it is. It's just right there. It's little reminders. So I keep that in one of my desks here, and I remind myself, you know what? I am awesome. And if the thing is, if I'm not going to be awesome, how can I assume somebody else is going to be awesome for me? And the other thing is, I realize that when I'm awesome, I'm changing other people's lives. And when I change other people's lives, I change my own life.
Absolutely. So the power of the affirmation and the mantras, that's quite big.
Sure, it is, yeah.
I've got them posted around. I've got them posted all around everywhere. I'm sat at the moment looking at them.
It's funny, I don't see any of them right now, but they're posted everywhere.
They are there. They are there. Trust me.
Don't leave the screen. You're the interviewee.
I know. I'm not gonna. I'm stuck.
You're stuck. Yep.
So okay, vibration high. Have fun and do lots of things that make you feel happy and alive, and surround yourself with those positive thoughts, images, and affirmations. Really help to make a difference.
Let me talk about affirmations. Can I tell you something about affirmations?
Yeah.
Affirmations, they always work, and what I mean by that is I used to not like affirmations. I used to hate them. I used to say these things don't work, and then I realized
you were.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was right. I was affirming that they wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So I was correct. No, wait, I was wrong. You know what I mean?
I do. I know exactly what you mean.
So I was actually affirming. Yeah, so they do work. Yeah, exactly. So I started realizing that maybe these things do work. I wasn't going to use them. A friend of mine's like, a friend of mine said, you should use affirmations. And I was like, nah, those things don't work. And he goes, just try it. I go, I'm not going to do it. They never work for me. And sure enough, they never worked for me because I was affirming that they wouldn't work. And then I just changed it around. I said, okay, today's going to be a good day. Today's going to be, in fact, I have way up there in my library, I've got something called the Creed. And it just says, it's about 8 or 10 different statements that say, I am the best. I am focused. I will succeed. I believe in myself. You're looking for it right now.
I am.
I will set
beat you to it.
Go ahead. You find it?
I did.
There it is. That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it says, I am the best. I'm focused. I will succeed. That's the one right there. Snap.
That's right.
Really, really powerful stuff. But like you said, it's all about your mindset. So if you're thinking that it's not going to work, then it won't work. So you switched it around and ta-da, there you go.
Correct. Yeah, and then productivity starts happening. And another thing, I should have mentioned this a long time ago in this interview, is that activity equals productivity. And what that means is it's the people, like The Secret, right? Ironically, the book The Secret just fell. You didn't see it. It just fell. It literally fell.
No way.
Look, I just picked it up off the ground. It literally just fell off my... that's some strange stuff right there when The Secret falls. Anyway, but it's funny, like people are like, I hope I get $1 million, and they're wishing upon this book, yet they don't realize that maybe you need to do some certain things like activity levels. So you can't. A lot of people want to make $1 million, yet they still want to sleep till noon. So it's not a congruent message. You need to be congruent in your message.
Absolutely. Now, we've talked about your Secret Habitudes program briefly earlier. Tell us again what the main aim of it is. Talk us through it.
Sure. So I've got something called Secret Habitudes, and it's a program that I take you through all these different habits and attitude. I take you through this book right here, which is 50 different secret habitudes. And it's, I don't think you have this book yet, but it's,
I don't
it's,
have this.
okay. Okay, you have that one. Yeah, that's right. Time Habitudes. So this one is, it's 50 different training modules that I go through, and I'll just give you a few. Like, well, I talk about positive affirmations. I talk about being persistent, visualization. I talk about the 1% formula, the power of mentoring, the power of journaling, the power of social media, all these different things. So I go through 50 different major things here. And my clients, what they get is it's a whole system where it takes them a whole year to go through and become a habitude warrior. And it's a really cool system. I also have an app out there that on iTunes and Google Play or whatever it's called.
So how can we get hold of that? What do we do?
So you send me $1,000, and then I send you the link.
Is that all?
Actually, no. Okay, you just want the link. All right, here it is. It's just go to let's see, what is it? It's Habitude Warrior, and it's on iTunes or Google Play, and it's Habitude Warrior, Habitude Warrior.
That's fabulous, and I highly recommend that you check out Erik's work. As I've flashed many times, I've got one of his little books, which are fabulous, absolutely fabulous, packed full of different strategies and techniques that you can use. This one's on time. What are your other ones on, Erik? Remind us. So
Sure. So, I have 50 Secret Habitudes, and that's on habits and attitude. I also have the time flip book, and then the other one is for salespeople and entrepreneurs called Sales Habitudes.
Okay, fabulous. So highly recommend, obviously, grabbing hold of those books. But I know that you're running your Secret Habitudes program. How often do you run that?
Yeah, so it's actually a run by yourself kind of thing. It's a whole program. Yeah, so if somebody wants to start this month, then fantastic. It takes you through a whole journey of success for a whole year. And it includes past programs that we've had, some live events, all these training ebooks as well, and just everything. It includes everything. It also includes a ticket to one of our events, the Habitudes Conference, which is
live
cool.
event. That's exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
Very exciting. So what I'm going to do, Erik, is I'm going to post down below the video. I'll post the links to
right there.
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 I'm going to post the links
there.
No, not here. There. I'm going to post all the different links to your social media pages so people can reach out and say hello and get in touch with you.
Yeah.
I know you're on literally all of them, aren't you? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope. We're being live streamed currently, I believe. So I'll post those links below.
Is Periscope? Did you just say Periscope, like in Paris?
Yeah, I did, I think. It's the English take on it.
Close, I like it.
And I'm also going to post the link of your website. So anybody who wants to sign up to your Secret Habitudes program, that link will be below too. So let's finish off. And I want to ask you one last question. What message would you like to leave people with about productivity and habitudes for success?
Do it now. Stop delaying. That's the major thing that I see a problem with. If you want to be productive, you have to do it now. Take the bull by the horns, or whatever that's called. Yes, and actually just do it. Because a lot of people will procrastinate. We start saying, "Well, I should do this, I should do that," and we stop doing it, and we get all bogged down. Then life gets in the way. So just do it. That's exactly the reason why I did these books, and the size of the books are 70 pages long. Because have you ever picked up a regular sized book? Here's one. So you pick up a regular sized book, which is huge, right? And yours is awesome, though. Yours is awesome. But you pick up a big book like this, and you have every intention to read it. What happens is people don't. I guarantee you, 80% of the people don't read the whole book. That's the problem with major books. I mean, look at best-selling author Jeffrey Gitomer. See, his books are a little bigger than mine, but very similar. So it's a small style, which you can bite-size these.
I was just going to say bite-size. That's right.
So I think that's the main thing you need to do is bite-size your life as well. Start bite-sizing them. Little wins equal big productivity.
Absolutely. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time, Erik. It's been such a pleasure. Learned loads, and I'm sure everybody will contact you and be in touch to subscribe, to reach out, say hello, and check out how awesome you really are. We've had loads of fun. Thank you so much. It's been
No worries.
a pleasure.
I had a great time too. So we'll see you guys soon. Thank you very much.
You will. Thank you so much. We'll speak soon. Hi, it's Gina, checking in with you. I hope you not only enjoyed that conversation that we just had, but it also got you thinking about your life and the direction it is heading. The biggest stumbling block that I see over and over and over again is that people aren't clear on where they're heading. They don't know what it is that they want, and they get that feeling of, is there more to life than this? Without a clear direction, you will feel unfocused, overwhelmed, and out of control. I know because I've been there. Here's what I know about people. The odds say that most people will do the same thing next year as they did this year. If you're ready to have 2016 be different than 2015, what's holding you back? From my experience, it is you. You're the only thing holding yourself back, be it consciously or subconsciously. So let's talk about how we can work together. I work with determined, strong, persistent, and confident women to gain clarity on their vision and their purpose and to define the direction. Here are the benefits that I think you will take away when we work together. The Discover Your Direction course is 6 sessions over 3 months. We're going to meet every 2 weeks because in my experience it takes a minimum of 3 months for you to be able to take something new and begin to put it into place and to start to see some changes. When we work together, I will take you through a formula to define what it is that you want in your business and in your life. We'll delve into mastering those situations that knock you off your feet and off your path. We'll explore being more skillful at handling difficult situations. We'll gain clarity on your vision and where you're heading, as well as starting to uncover your purpose. And then we will create a toolkit for you to ensure that you're focused, you're productive, and you're taking steps to achieve what it is that you want. In those 6 sessions, I have a formula that we're going to follow. But listen, these are your calls. And so if we break that formula because that's where you need to go, then that's what we're going to do. And someplace around session 4, we're going to start to assess how you're feeling and what's going on, and to look at the changes that you're sensing, if not the changes that you've already begun to put into place. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in session 4 and session 5, and certainly in session 6. And if at the end of 6 sessions you don't even see a little glimmer of light, despite your best effort and the work that you've put in, I will give you your money back. So the worst thing that can happen is you spend a few hours with me and nothing changes. The best thing that happens is we spend a few hours together and you're on your way to where you want to go. If we could work together and put you on the path to the outcome that you're looking for, which is to have a stronger purpose in your life, to understand where you're going, and to have a plan to get you there. If we can do that in 6 sessions to put you on the road, are you ready to begin to do that? If you are, click the link in the box below to apply for the Discover Your Direction course. Go ahead, check it out, the link's there in the box, Discover Your Direction course, apply now, and I look forward to working with you. Bye for now.